Hey church family, welcome back to another Tuesday talk. This week we're going to continue going through the series that we've been doing of looking at some different attributes of Christ. And so this week we're going to look at the attribute of compassion that Christ had. So I'm just going to read one verse for us and then think about a few things about the compassion of Christ. So in Mark chapter 6, this is in the section where right before Jesus is about to feed the 5,000. And here's what it says in Mark 6:34. It says, "When he went ashore, he saw a great crowd, and he had compassion on them, because they were like sheep without a shepherd. And he began to teach them many things." So we look here, and Jesus' response, as he looks out and there's this great crowd, his response is not one of judgment. It's not one of seeing himself as greater than, but it's truly one of compassion, of seeing their need. He looked out and he saw that help was needed, and he showed great compassion on them, right? It says he had compassion. And it says the reason that he showed compassion, the reason is because they were like sheep without a shepherd. And the truth is, he looked out and he saw all these people that needed guidance. They needed a shepherd. They needed someone to lead them. They needed someone to show them truth, to show them the right way, right? They needed the good shepherd, which Christ knew was ultimately himself. So being the good shepherd, he showed compassion on them. Not judgment, not casting them away, but compassion, as he is the good shepherd. And as I'm thinking about the compassion of Christ, it's really easy to think about our response whenever we look out at people. Maybe it's at your jobs, maybe it's at school, maybe it's at your neighbors, wherever you're at. It's really easy to look at people who need help, who need guidance, who are not living as you know believers ought to, and to look out and to not have compassion, but to have judgment, to look down upon them, to view ourselves as greater than, and to in our pride view ourselves as so much greater. So our response is often judgment, not compassion. And as we are called to be like Christ, I challenge you to, when you look out at people who know that, who you know that they need guidance, they need a shepherd, they're like sheep without a shepherd. When you look out, I challenge you to see your coworkers, to see your neighbors, to see your friends with compassion, like sheep who need a shepherd, and to look on them with love, with care, and care for their souls, not just looking at where they need help, where they need guidance, and not passing judgment on them. As we know, that is not our role as a believer, but our role is to show compassion as Christ showed compassion. Man, how good is it ultimately that Christ showed compassion to each one of us? Each of us are like one of these people who were like sheep without a shepherd. Before you came to know Christ, you were a sheep without a shepherd, but Christ showed compassion on you. Remember that compassion. Let it drive you to show compassion to others today and throughout the rest of this week. Hope that's encouraging to you as we remember the attributes of Christ and all that he is and all that he's done for us. So worship Christ this week and be so thankful for the compassion he's shown us. Have a great week.